and welcome to the Irish Arsenal GOONER podcast. It's Monday the 20th of February. I'm your host as always, Jonathan Giles. On this week's show, I'm joined by my regular guests at this stage, week in, week out. Martin Stumble. How are you, Martin?
Good evening, not too bad.
Craig, how are you, pal?
How are you, pal?
And the return of our UK-based GOONER, Ozzy. How are you?
Hi, mate. How are you?
Good to have you back. No Eamon this week, so frustrating. I thought I'd get that out early. As always, you can catch our show on the Dublin Arsenal YouTube channel. We're back on Spotify again. Catch all our shows from the 1st of January this year. And catch us on the Dublin Arsenal on Instagram, where Martin will be uploading daily content as always. Thanks to our sponsor, clubgolf.co.uk, Dub Arsenal Town for a discount as always. Catch on our matches throughout the season, including the Premier League and Europa League games in the River Bar in Dublin City Centre. It's been rocking the last few weeks, but it's still up top there, so it's a good time to go in. Last week's stats from Thursday's show with myself, Eamon and Ian were 56 views, 4 likes, and Martin, we're up to 2,840 subscribers, so it's going well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going well, and again, thanks for everybody who is watching us and who's subscribing to us, and like last week I think was a bit like an overflow of too many games. Like the results didn't go for us, Valentine's Day, so yeah, it wasn't too good of a time to reminisce about lost games against Man City. So, but yeah, now we are happy where we are, and as I said, thanks to just Arsenal.com who really support us. And again, like this is kind of another call for our competition we have. Once they reach 1,000 subscribers on just Arsenal.com or just on the YouTube channel, it's the Just Arsenal vids, and the link is going to be in the description. So once you get the thing and you comment on our page, you will go into the draw for the black or pink water bottle from Dublin Arsenal. It's just great that they support us, and we just have to help each other. And let's hope that we get back on their page today, and just see how we get on, and long may it continue.
Yeah, also give Martin's podcast as well, covering the Arsenal women's team in the Women's Super League, Beyond the Last Man. There will be one coming up in the next week or two, and we're back playing again. Also, the show is dedicated this month to the Irish Cancer Society, cancer.ie. We can donate there. And also dedicated to my late uncle John Giles, who passed away last Monday, sadly. So any donations to cancer.ie be very welcome. Excuse me. On this week's show, we'll be reviewing our 4-2 away success to against Aston Villa. And also previewing this Saturday's game against Leicester City away, 3 o'clock on Premier Sports 1 here in Ireland. I know Craig is lucky he got a ticket for that, so how dare you come onto this show rubbing it in. Hopefully he doesn't get a hiding in Leicester, so
You'll get some crisps if he's lucky. It's a walking crisp. And by the way, when you're in Leicester, mate, if they call it a cob, that means it's a roll. All right, it's a bread roll. just so you don't get caught out, mate. If you want a bacon cob, that's a bacon roll, mate.
There you go. Shout out to the bacon cobs out there. Dinner, yeah, I wouldn't mind one now. We go into the review of Saturday's 4-2 win over Aston Villa away. Goals for Villa were by Watkins and Coutinho in the first half. Saka scored a screamer in the first half for us, absolute belter. Well worked corner by Odegaard and Saka to set up Zinchenko from the edge of the box and slammed home past Martinez. And then Jorginho's cracking strike from outside the box came off our old goalkeeper, EMI MARTINEZ. And a great breakaway goal for the last goal. Vieira's through ball for Martinelli, who celebrated before he finished putting that in the net. I like that kid. He's got a bit of swagger about him. It was a tough first half. I think we'll all agree. Emery used his tactics as usual, catch you on the break, and in fairness, Watkins just skinned Saliba. Really didn't need for pace, and buried a shot into the corner. Don't think Ramsdale had a chance with either goal. In fairness, a bit sluggish to start off, but I think after the last few results, I think we're playing on our mind. Confidence was fairly low after the City game. But I thought the second half, whatever he said in the dressing room again, worked wonders. Again, Zinchenko and Jorginho probably stood out for me. I think Jorginho's really filled in quite well for Partey. Sprayed the ball around well. I thought Trossard had another good game, and a good away win. I'll come to you, Ozzy. How did you see the game on Saturday?
Yeah, firstly, what a massive result that was. I think we all needed to get out that run that we was in. The first half for me, it wasn't pretty, was it? The first half, I do think we suffered from a hangover from the Wednesday night's match against City, and rightfully so. It was just but they just didn't look at the races today. They didn't look like the Arsenal we've been watching all season. But credit to credit where credit's due. I think Ollie Watkins scored a very good goal. I know Zinchenko getting dispossessed and that ball over the top of Saliba could have done better with that, but I think it's a good finish from Ollie Watkins. And I thought, just talking about Villa, the Coutinho's goal was pretty good as well. But what we did show is a massive amount of character. And I've said this a few times on the pods this season. We've got those big cojones, as they say. We know how to we do respond. Villa was always good. I think Villa are a really good side. I think I know they're a bit hit or miss with results, but they're a solid side. I thought this was going to be a tricky game. I wouldn't have predicted a win for Arsenal against this. I'd have gone for a draw if I was giving a prediction. So the fact that we won 4-2, I know 2 in the last minute, but overall, I think. The absence of Thomas Partey, I think we've got to give Edu and Arteta credit because I think Jorginho's coming. He's not Partey. There's no two ways about it. But what he does very well. His passing, long range and short range, I thought was fantastic. And Zinchenko coming in and providing that space in the middle as well to help Xhaka. I think Xhaka's been a bit off the boil lately. I think he's probably playing too many games. Yeah. But overall, I think the display showed character. It showed positivity, and it shows that we're not going to go away and just let City run away with it. And I think that's a really important message. And I think we surprised a few people at the weekend. Certainly when we went, the worst thing that could have happened, I guarantee. I was sat there as every Arsenal fan was, but don't concede in the first 15 minutes. I think everyone was thinking that. And when we conceded after 5 minutes, it was a kind of, here we go. We've seen this last season, haven't we? But we didn't let it fall to us. Bukayo Saka scored a screamer of a goal, wasn't it? It was fantastic. Yeah. But that second half, really, I thought, for me, one of Odegaard's better performances I've seen. I thought he was fantastic in that second half. I know he missed a sitter, but he was brilliant. And again, he doesn't let it affect him. He's playing like a proper captain now. Just overall throughout the team, I'm just looking at the team now. I thought it was fantastic. You mentioned Martinelli's goal. What I loved about that goal, what if it was Vieira celebrating the assist before Martinelli even picked the ball up? I thought that was absolutely fantastic. And you know what? And we'll go to the third goal, which was like Emilio Martinez scoring that. But Jorginho, what a hit! What a hit! That ball was coming to him. It was difficult. It was kind of on a half sort of volley. He hit it, and Emilio Martinez finished it off with his head, which was amazing. And I'm going to say that now, because if I'm not on the podcast next week, but that's my goal of the month, Giles. So I'll get that in early. Emilio Martinez goal of the month for me. Purely just to get it in there. But no, you know what? It was brilliant. It was a great. I wouldn't say it's a great performance because that first half was pretty terrible, but it was a strong performance. It was one that showed character, one that showed resilience, and overall, I think you know, we're going to take that win and move with it. But we move on to Leicester, and Leicester's not going to be their form's up and down, so we'll talk about it in a bit. But yeah, it was a difficult fixture. I took a 4-2 all day before the game. We got 4-2. Dead chuffed with that. Just one more thing on Eddie Nketiah as well. Eddie Nketiah can't buy a goal at the moment, but he's doing all. He's still playing well. I think, you know. I think I feel so sorry for that. It's all about small margins, and he's missing by small margins, isn't he?
He was unlucky with the fourth half, wasn't he, Ozzy? When I think it was Mings got his foot to. I remember he was nearly getting a header. It's just these small little things that's going against him, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's the fact, you know, and for the lad that's had a first run like this, really, it's a proper long run of games now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
For him. I think, I do feel for him. So, but his work rate and what he does against Mings, and I thought he was fantastic. But yeah, anyway, I'll let someone else say something now.
As you say, Ozzy, I'll take your quote or Eamon's quote, more Merlot than Perlo.
He is more Merlot than Perlo at the moment. But
yeah, no, we had another chance then when I think it was Odegaard slipped him in the second half, and he nearly rounded Martinez. We just blazed over. You know, it's just they would have been going in a couple of weeks ago for them, but
I just think he's overthinking it. We're seeing a different Eddie. I didn't talk about the Man City game, but that Man City game, he just takes that extra touch at the moment, and that's not Eddie. But that's a player with a little bit of a confidence dip as well. He's probably feeling it. Probably knackered, to be honest, because he plays 90 minutes every game. But yeah, no, it's but yeah, I think we'll see a different Eddie when Jesus is back. I really do. But I think he'll be glad of seeing Jesus nearly returning to fitness anyway, as also it's said anyway.
Yeah, that win also was the double over Villa this season, because we won 2-1 at home at the end of August, which was the 5th win in a row. Martinelli scored the winner that night as well. Martin, you were in the River Bar on Saturday. You were saying the atmosphere was electric, people falling off their seats and all. How did you see the game, Martin?
Yeah, I guess first of all, like, you know, River Bar was great, like, and we shout out to the Brew City Gooners. We had one of their members over, like, and they brought us some scarf from their local pub. It's called the Highbury, which is great. So yeah, just shout out to them. Like, you know, it's great to see, like, you know, Gooners traveling from around the world, you know, like not only to London, but even coming to us now and watching it together. And he was absolutely delighted, obviously, that we won. Jenna, look, it's one of these games, you know, in the first half, my God, the words I heard about, like, whoever played on this pitch, you know, like, it was like a roller coaster on emotions. And, you know, like, it's just, it's a tough game. We all know that. But, it was just an amazing. Like, we looked at him, and when Odegaard missed that sitter, and then I was looking at it and said, like, that is gonna bug him so badly that he missed that sitter, and he kept going. And as Ozzy said, like, he's captain material through and through. He really just, there's nothing what can take him off, like, the way he plays. Obviously, he should have buried that sitter, but, like, it didn't happen. But, like, they're still going and create the chances. And when that goal went in, oh my God, like, as I said, everything erupted, like chairs flying, glasses flying, everything was amazing. Then the fourth goal was just the cherry on the top of the icing, I presume. And we have, like, on the Instagram, we had the video on it, so, like, what happened. So yeah, it was just one of these games that, you know, we could have easily as well probably lost it, you know, because that save from Ramsdale in the end, like, it could have been 3-2 for Villa. And that was just, like, you know, like, fingertips to it. And again, that's what you need in seasons when you're going to go for a title, you know, like, that's the bit of luck you might have and why you might didn't have against City or whatever. But yeah, these are the games, if you want to be champion, you want to win them. And yeah, we did. And I'm pretty sure, like, I watched the bench cam today, and it's just the emotions on the bench. Like, it must be bad, like, as a supporter. But, like, when you're sitting on the bench, you know, like, and this is going through, like, it's just incredible, you know. And I think that they really needed that as well, because, like, the last 3 games weren't the best, you know. I'd say they were pretty down. And if they would have not got a result on Saturday, God knows what can happen, because this train can easily derail. I think we don't have to forget that, you know, like, we just thought, like, okay, like, we play City, might have lost, and then we just go back on. Like, there's no team in the league which is easy to beat. And Leicester is going to be as tough as a game as the Villa game. So let's see how we get on in the Leicester game. But yeah, it was a great great atmosphere, great day, and a great win.
Yeah, it's really rocking in the River Bar, Martin, isn't it?
Yeah.
This season in particular, yeah, full house nearly every game now, yeah. A great away win, Craig, and a double over Villa. Emery has been playing well, as Ozzy said. How did you see the game on Saturday yourself?
Yeah, the lads have kind of touched on most of the points there. It was a topsy-turvy game, wasn't it? I think that game had all the emotions because 1 minute I was writing our title hopes off when we were losing, and the next minute we were drawn, and then it looked like the next minute when we went ahead, I thought they were going to get an equaliser when they had the corner, and then Martinelli sealed the win. So yeah, it was a crazy game. First half, I thought Villa maybe took a leaf out of Everton and City's book. They tried to play the long ball to Watkins a good bit, and we got caught that time when Zinchenko got caught out of possession, and then they played the ball into Watkins, and he was kind of one-on-one with Saliba. I think Saliba, he may be a little bit naive there. He tried to jockey him, but I think he could have showed him out to the corner flag a bit more.
Yeah.
So look, Saliba's young, can make mistakes. So I've nothing more to say about that. Really, he has to learn. He's only 21, and obviously, he'll learn from that mistake. When we got the equaliser, I think it was well deserved. He kind of started to come back on top. Saka, and Odegaard were very influential in the first half. I thought Saka kind of brought us back into it. He was getting kicked around all over the place. And look, he's not going to be protected by the referees. I don't know what it is. It's just, Tony England's best player, and even the City. I don't think he caught about the City game. Even the City game, Bernardo Silva felt him, I think, a total of 5 or 6 times, and only 1 yellow card was given. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because he's English. I just feel like if that was Salah or someone like that, the player could be sent off. But look, it's probably an argument for another day. I thought Saka had a brilliant game, by the way. Kicked around the place, we just got up and got on with it, and he gave a little bit back to Coutinho as well, which is always good to see.
You just quoted Eamon there, mate. Get on with it. All I heard was Eamon there.
So
it is singing it. Just maybe I want to say, sorry, if I just want to say something about Saliba, and I think, he's so young, and one of the big issues what I see with Saliba is he is nobody who challenging on his position. Do you know what I mean? There's nobody there, who he doesn't have anybody thing. So not saying that he plays bad, but sometimes, if you don't have anybody pushing for your position, it might not get you that concentrated, because even if you have a bad game, you're still gonna play and start next game.
I think that should be that should be addressed in the summer, man. I think Holt will probably move on, and hopefully get another right half, centre half.
Yeah, exactly. And this is kind of we're still not finishing the thing. But I actually thought it's a bit like Bellerin. When Bellerin didn't have anybody who's pushing for his position, he kind of I wouldn't say lazy, but he just get comfortable. And when you're comfortable and you don't feel the pressure, Martinelli has to put up his pants now because Trossard is after him. And even Jesus now with Nketiah, not saying that is a different thing, but they have competition. Every single player on the pitch has a competition. Besides Thomas Partey, maybe he's not that thing. But look, we got Jorginho now. But I think that's one of the little bits and pieces what misses for Saliba. Sometimes he's not completely turned on. But look, he's a young man, and he's going to learn from all this, and he's going to get stronger from it. But it would be nice if he can get another right back or central defender, to get him, because we got him now for Gabriel. I don't know if that Polish fella can play on the right side as well. I don't know, but I think he's a left footer.
Left side is centre back.
If we can get somebody, don't get me wrong, Holding is a great thing. He's just brilliant to bring on in the last 5 minutes to close down shop in it.
We're not an Arsenal level centre half now at this moment. We probably moved on from him. And probably the same with Kieran Tierney. But look, again, it's probably an argument for another day about who should go on, and who should move on. The first half, the second goal, it really killed their momentum, because they weren't really doing much. We were on top. They got a goal right before half time, and it kind of deflated us. So obviously Arteta brought them in at half time and got them a good talking to. Second half we came out and we were definitely on top. The Jorginho goal, it's karma right there, because I think it was added up in the end. I think Martinez waited a total of 9 minutes.
Did
You know, with kickouts. And
And
he's had enough to say about Arsenal since he's moved on from us. And I don't really understand the obsession with it, because he went on loan to a lot of teams and then he got his break. Arsenal have actually given him the career he's had because Leno got an injury. If Leno didn't get that injury, he'd probably be playing in the second division in Spain or something, And that's just the realization of that. But look, I think he'll probably move on from it in the summer. I think he wants to go and challenge for Champions Leagues, he said. So good luck to him. But when that goal went in, I went crazy. And then as Martin was saying, and the lads were saying that when they had the corner kick, we're saying, oh, they're going to get an equaliser here, and and Vieira just played a great ball in to Martinelli, and he's on the Christ Redeemer before he even scored.
And again, like it's so pity about, like, I don't know if you've seen this, like, on TalkSports, what was it, like Akbanlahor giving out about, like, how pity is that, he celebrated before he got the goal in, and how dare he, like, and it's a disrespectful to all the people in the world, and blah blah blah. What is going on? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like,
let them hate us.
Exactly. Like, you need the haters, don't you?
Yeah.
And you know what the TalkSport can say about Arsenal at the moment? Fuck them. Sorry about my French.
Hang on,
it's great to be hated when you're at the top, because we haven't had this in a long while. And I was just looking at the Sun here. Zinchenko says we've got the balls for titles, Graf. Like, and I think he'd be, to be honest, I'd probably give him my man of the match from Saturday, because he from having that winning mentality, being at City, he knows what it takes to win titles, and I think he's brought it. Definitely.
Don't know about man of the match, son.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Don't know about man of the match. You get the ball away at fourth half.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That goal in itself, Craig, to make it 2-2 on the hour mark, that's what turned the game, I think.
Yeah. He had a good second half, but he was poor first half, I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd probably give it to him just because he never gives in, Craig. He'll keep scrapping away.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I definitely give man of the match to Jorginho.
Yeah.
I thought it was exceptional. He, for a player that's only come in 2 or 3 weeks ago, he controlled the game.
Yeah. Even Arteta said that, didn't he?
The biggest compliment I can kind of give Jorginho is that we didn't really miss party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we didn't know. And even in the game against City, Craig,
he's very different.
Jorginho had a good game as well, hadn't he?
He did.
Jorginho's very different to Partey, though, isn't he?
Exactly. There's no one-to-one, like.
No, he's not a like for like, Jorginho.
No.
His distribution actually is better. I think his distribution's better, but he's not the transition box to box. You just have to change the way you play.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think you have to give him the thing as well. He's only there 2 weeks, 3 weeks, really, and to slot into a well-oiled machine,
Yeah.
And I think that's actually one of the big issues we have with general with players. We have our starting 11, and fair enough, we start them, and that's a starting 11. That's great. But if you're going to come in like something Vieira, and I think this is why we're probably going to see Vieira come on more often over Xhaka quite early, depending on obviously on the result of the game where we are. But like he needs to come in, and he plays in the system, and for Jorginho to come basically in after 2 weeks and like, as you said, like don't missing party. I think that's exactly why we bought him. Because he's Premier League proven, he can go on and just think. And it's the same with Trossard. Trossard comes in like the first game against United, and he was basically like, like you can replace him with Martinelli. And that's what we need. We need that for Saliba. We need that for a lot of other positions, but we're still in a building process. So, I think it's great like to have that.
On that point, Martin, and I know, as you mentioned earlier on about Xhaka, he has been poor the last few games, but I think that's mainly because he's trying to make so much space for Zinchenko to come into midfield.
Yeah.
So it's affecting his game. But my argument is, come towards the end of the season, we're going to be playing against a lot of low block teams who are probably going to try to do what Brentford and Everton did, especially at home.
Well,
I think there's an argument to maybe not start Xhaka and play Vieira or Smith Rowe there, or do you start Xhaka and maybe bring Vieira or Smith Rowe on, the 60th minute, because I think the last few games Vieira's come on around the 75th minute. I think it's a little bit too late. I think we're going to control the game from 99% of the game. So I think that's a risk we could take, by putting one of them on. Do you agree?
You've been spot on there, Craig. I'll tell you what they've done. What Villa did that first half is what Everton and Brentford and City done. They played in between our spaces, and that's what they were doing. And we changed things up. second half.
Yeah.
We did change things up second half, and that's what was different. Like Trossard had acres of space on that left hand side.
Yeah.
And that's why Saka was getting kicked because it was all going down the right, but they were just playing in our spaces and hitting us. If you watch that Coutinho goal, that just shows you exactly what they did to us. They played in those spaces that we left, and they knew our system, but we switched it up the second half.
Yeah.
You're spot on, Craig. It's exactly what happened.
And I really think like it's going to be interesting. We see when Smith Rowe is coming back. Is he going to go in that kind of position? Because I think he can actually play that position. Because when Saka is going forward, like Smith Rowe can do exactly the same. And with Zinchenko in the back, or even Zinchenko pushing forward like that, he would be perfect to fit. And thank God, like touch wood, Smith Rowe was to come back like a month ago, and he had a bit of a setback. So let's hope he can get a game, and he can go in. And that's what you want. Sorry.
He was training from last week, and he's back in training again this week.
He was on the bench, but I said he was training before, and then he got a little setback, and he was off for things. So let's hope he come back, because I think him and Vieira, they are, once they're gonna get game time and they're gonna play in games like that, like that pass what he did to Martinelli, that is just gonna give him so much confidence, and if he plays again, and that's exactly what he needs. He needs to play in this team to be able to get the way they play. I mean, I'm sure they do that in training, but when you play in a match and you actually get a success out of it, then you're gonna fly. And with Smith Rowe coming back, and hopefully Jesus back as well in the next couple of weeks, we have that backup now. And look, the next 8 games are all on a category where you can think that we should get points, And with the backup, I think you never know what's gonna happen. You never know what kind of injury is gonna get next week, hopefully Partey is back as well and have Jorginho. But we need these backups, and that's what City have. They have 700 million sitting on the bench, and we don't have that yet. But hopefully, another transfer window, and then we on not the same level, but very close to it.
I think the poor results before the Villa game was maybe because we were too predictable.
Yeah,
we need to start being
100%.
Because if we are playing somebody, especially at home when they're low block, if they see Vieira with Rowe starting, they're going to say, what do we do here now? Because they know what they expect when Jacket and Partey are playing. But especially, I think Partey can maybe do that centre mid job on his own. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
But if we blitz teams in the first, half or 60 minutes, you can bring Jacket on then, to settle things.
Yeah, 100%. And again, you need to change things up. You need to have a strong enough bench, and as you said, not only coming on, they actually want to start them, because teams are sorting, they're figuring out who we are. They know exactly who's playing. The last starting 11 in the last 10 weeks, that was writing itself. So that as a manager, they know exactly what it is. And if you don't switch up your game or do something different, and that's why I thought if Smith Rowe would have been fit for the Everton game, I think that would have been a little change. They could have thrown them off what they were thinking is going to happen. But we had to start with the 11 because we didn't really have much other options, and the options we bought in were only in really a couple of days, weeks. So look, fingers crossed, we have the backup now. The cavalry has arrived. So let's see what we're gonna do against Leicester, for instance. It's very interesting, And that game as well. Villa was 72 hours. It's a quick turnaround, but that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna play when the Europa League is back. We're gonna play during the week. We're gonna play on the weekend. And that's when you need your team, And look, even City struggled, even though they same time they played as us, 2 hours later. But they just didn't collect their chances, and that's the thing. But that's what can happen. That's Premier League football.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought that team Nottingham Forest is going to score a goal? Not from what I've seen in the game. Jesus. But that's the Premier League, Southampton beating Chelsea.
Before we move on to off a Villa game, can we just have special mention for Arsene Wenger, who brought EMI MARTINEZ to the club to score that third goal against Villa. We need to give him a round of applause, I think.
100%.
Yeah, it's nice to get the double over him as well this season.
Oh, yeah.
And he was not happy with him that he's gone forward. That's one thing for sure.
No, he's given out, wasn't he? But look, at that stage of the game, they wanted to get a draw, it's But I think the unselfishness of Fabio Vieira to slip through Martinelli was quite, it's a real team effort now, isn't it? Everyone works for each other now, and it's not just one.
And it wasn't an easy pass either.
No, it wasn't. No, yeah, because he was being.
No, I mean, like,
two players
if
were
you're running in
down
full
on him.
tilt and you have to pass that ball directly to.
Yeah.
Look, they're footballers, that's what they do. But
Yeah.
it was just like in their best mates, them too.
Yeah.
They would have loved that so much. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think there is a player in here, a bit lightweight still, but there's plenty to work on with him though.
Yeah.
And
100%.
a great option to have off the bench as well when you need a bit of imagination. Yeah. So that victory and that the draw, City's draw against Forest got us back on top. And that came in hand now over Everton on March the 4th, I think it is. It's becoming a huge one now. To the 3 points there, and there'll be a bit of a gap opened up again. Saturday's win leaves us top with 54, and City directly behind us in 52 points. And United are closing in now, 49 points. They're starting to worry me a bit, but the games that they're winning, they should be winning. I think they'll come a cropper against the bigger teams.
They've got some big games left.
And they're in for competition still, so come on to tune. Larry's Cardius is being goal. Fair play to Nick Pope getting sent off. He'll have another stinker and concede 3 goals or something. No, that should be hopefully. I'm hoping Newcastle win that because they deserve a trophy. It's been, I think it's 1946 or something since the last one. But I like Eddie Howe. Their style of football is attractive to watch, and he's a good coach. So fingers crossed he can stuff United on Sunday, I think it is. Before we move on, man of the match, Craig, for you on Saturday.
Jorginho, definitely. I think he was very good, control of the game. I think he's a solid through sign, and I was happy when he actually signed. A lot of people were slagging him off, but I do understand because he signed a lot of rejects to Chelsea. But he's experienced pro. He finished third in the Ballon d'Or, a year or two ago, I think, and he won the Euros with Italy. So I'm happy with him. I think he was very good on Saturday, and I seen a video online recently. His family were celebrating, singing Arsenal songs, which is always great to see.
He is more Perlo than Merlo, that lad.
100%, yeah.
Ozzy, your man of the match? Obviously not Merlo.
No, I'm going to go Bukayo Saka because I saw a different side to him this game.
Yeah.
He played a bit dirty. He was a bit fighty. I loved it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it to Saka. And that goal is that was fantastic.
Yeah.
What a shot.
Since that penalty miss in Euro 2021, he's just gone on leaps and bounds, where young players' head could have turned the other way. He's gone from strength to strength. So hats off, and hopefully he stays with Arsenal for many years to come. Your man of the match, Martin?
Like Saka obviously he was kicked around, I loved his tribute to the King Henry on the corner flag, and he seems to listen what he's been told. He seems like the character building, as you said, after the Italian penalty he missed, he didn't miss one since, and he's just every time something is going against him, he takes it and turns it for him, he gets better for it. But I would have given it to Jorginho as well, because I think being only in the club 2-3 weeks, and the way he just kind of slotted in there, and obviously the goal, I don't think it's actually his, but it was a good strike. So Jorginho for me.
As I said, I'd give mine to Zinchenko just for what he does. He's a real team player, and he's got that hunger to win every game. He seems to get the players rallied as well for such a young player himself. And it was a nice touch at the end to give his jersey to the young fan in the waist for a second. So hats off to Zinchenko, true professional, and he's fitted
proper
in.
Leaders now, innit? We have so many leaders now.
He's a leader. Can you actually see Martin Zinchenko as a captain? A future captain.
I presume why wouldn't he be he's just saying, but if you look back 2 or 3 years ago, everybody's saying we don't have anybody who leads this club, we don't have any, and then that's what when Xhaka was kind of booed off the pitch, and we didn't have any men in the thing. Now we have plenty of them, we have loads of leaders on the pitch, and again, as same with Jorginho, they've been there, they've got championship medals, or trophies, and they know exactly what they need to do. And everything what you see from Zinchenko, even when the Polish fella came and he was sitting in the stands, he got them down into the dressing room, to celebrate with them, to get them in, and these are the people who a team needs, and this is a family, a team. They play together, and they need people like that. They need people like Xhaka. They need something like Odegaard, that thing with Tomiyasu, like put up his head, like that.
Yeah.
That is just like what you need to see, and that's why we are where we are. And it's great to see them, And yeah, why wouldn't be a captain? But in fairness, like Odegaard, like he's only 20, so he has another 10 years as a captain. Like it's very hard to get him down. No, but he's definitely a leader, Zinchenko, and yeah, it's great to see,
Yeah, he's real passionate, isn't he?
Yeah.
And hats off to Arteta. He's really worked miracles this season.
Yeah.
There's no Eamon, if you're listening in, there's no need for a big name manager yet. I really will eat them words if we go into the league.
He's a good dancer as well, Arteta. He might go on strictly some dancing, mocking the referee,
he never gets that hair messed up or nothing. What a fine head of hair. It's like a rogue.
Oh god.
Yeah, I wish I was born Spanish. He gets out the lovely women and all. If he doesn't win that league, I'll string him by the bollocks. And Arteta we trust, lads.
Yeah.
You've heard it here first. We move on to the preview of Leicester City this coming Saturday at 3:00. I know Craig, as we said earlier on the start of the show, is going to it. He's lucky to get a golden ticket there too. Leicester are 14th at the moment, going through a bit of a bad spell at the moment, but very up and down season for them. I was at the game back in August. I think it was the second game of the season. Jesus scored that worldie of a chip over Danny Ward. What a great day. And you could just see a different Arsenal from last season, the way we started the game. Just electric start. And last season was a 2-0 we won. Ramsey made a worldie save from a Madison kick. I think it'd be a tough game on Saturday. I think it's hard to call this one as well. They brought in a lad called Tete, I think his name is, from Shakhtar, and he's caused real problems since he started to defence. I think he gave Talib and Gabriel a hard time. It'd be a tough game. This one be a tough one. I think Leicester are going to home against us as well. We haven't always had an easy time of it there. They're always ramped up, and they need the points themselves. I'd probably go for a narrow 2-1 here, or another 4-2. I don't mind. If one's a 3 point, I don't give a shit. Ozzy, how do you see the game going Saturday? And are you going first of all?
I'm not going. No, I'm not as lucky as my mate Craig. It's not far from me either, which is really annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it?
I did try, Ozzy. I did try.
Oh, bless you. No, it's not far at all. But no, I think you bang on, Johnny. I think this is another test. It's another difficult fixture. I looked at these Villa and Leicester. I really didn't want these two fixtures to come one after another. But again, if we're going to win, if we're going to be serious about winning the league, we've got to go there and we've got to get a result. And how we do it, sometimes we're ugly. I think it's going to be one of those games. But look, Brent, I look at their team and they've got a good side. They've got a lot of players like Tete. Yeah, he's great. Madison's a great player. Niacho. You just look through their side. They've got quality through there, so we know they can hurt us. But I'll stick to what I said. Is we've got to win these games, and these are the games we've got to get points from to be taken seriously. So I'm predicting a close game. I think it's going to be decided by one goal. With Arsenal, it could be a 1-0, but it could be a 5-4 as well, couldn't it? He's literally like that at the moment. I'm going to go for a 1-0. I'm going to play it safe. I'm sorry, Craig, for the amount of goals, the 9-goal thriller. But no, I think 1-0 would be my if I was a betting man. Well, I am a betting man. I'd bet on a 1-0. But yeah, I think again, it's just looking at the way they're set up. They play two quite deep. I think that's going to try and stifle our midfield. And James Madison's going to try and bit of quality, and I think they'll try and hit us on the break, if I'm honest, looking at the way they play. But their results have been up and down. Like, they didn't turn up at Old Trafford, then they beat Spurs before that, didn't they? 4-1.
Yeah.
And then they beat Villa 4-2. Same result was, quite convincingly. But then just up and down. So it depends what Leicester turns up. Really, it really does, doesn't it? But I do think they sit quite deep. I think 4 and then have 2 quite Dewsbury Hall, don't they? And sits back in midfield. I think that's going to quite stifle us a bit. So we'll see. We'll see what they try and do. They'll probably look at the Everton, Brentford, Villa first half and try and do the same as what they're doing. And then it's up for us to come up. But I really hope we see, like, people like Smith Rowe, Vieira, switch it up a bit, or just do something a little bit different. And let's not go 1-0 down, because it'd be a lot better on the heart and the blood pressure. But but no, 1-0 to the Arsenal. That's what I'm going to stick with.
Yeah, I think if you get we United yesterday with Rashford, if you get at their back to Sutter and Faz, is that his name?
Yeah.
He seems to be a bit harsh into the tackle. There could be, if you get at him, there could be a possible red card there. If they lose their head early. I think the first goal the first goal in the game will be a big one. I think. Craig, you're going over to it Saturday. As we said, how do you see the game going on Saturday yourself?
Yeah, I'm a lot more confident now after the Villa result than I probably would have been if we didn't beat Villa. I'm quietly confident about this game. I just think it's a bit different to. I know Ozzy touched on maybe they might try set up like Brentford and Everton, but I don't know if Leicester are that type of side. I know Rodgers likes them to kind of play a bit of ball. So I hope that'll play into our hands. I think they might try to do what Villa did. They might pack the centre and let us have the wings. And that might play into our hands a little bit, depending if it's Trossard or, Martinelli or Saka. I think, Saka could have the beating of their left back, Christensen. He likes to go forward a bit. I watched the game against Man United and he likes to bomb forward. I'm not sure if he likes defending as much. So that could be one to watch. Look, Leicester, like Ozzy said, Leicester are kind of, you don't know what you're going to get from them. They could be amazing or they can be absolutely abysmal. They're in a kind of strange position where they're 14. They probably are too good to go down. I think they're 7 or 8 points off the bottom 3. So, they're probably safe as stage comes. So they probably don't have an awful lot to play for this season. So, look, it's going to be a tough game. We need to watch them maybe countering, like Ozzy mentioned. But I think, if make maybe 1 or 2 changes, I think Jorginho will probably still play again. I don't think Partey is he's not back training yet, and they probably won't want to risk him. They might keep him fresh for the Everton game next during the week. So I think maybe Martinelli might come in because he did, in fairness to him, he could do well when he came on for Trossard, then he got that goal. So he might come back into the side, and maybe it's not the game for Vieira or Smith Rowe to start. I think he'll probably go with Xhaka again. But again, I wouldn't be averse to seeing something different there. But I'm looking forward to the game. I'm hopefully this time next week when I talk to us, I'm still happy that we got a good result. But in terms of a scoreline, I think we will beat Leicester 2-0. I think we might go 2 goals up. We'll sit back and they'll try nick one, but I don't think they will. Ramsdale had that amazing save last year at the King Power, so hopefully he does the same again.
I think it's a better 11 that we have as well than the 2-0 we had there last season as well. Yeah, it'd be grand if Jesus came back for this one with us as well. Yeah.
It's not Easter, yeah.
Mark, how do you see the game going Saturday since you rudely interrupted? so frustrating.
Yeah, like it would be an early Easter if Jesus is coming back, but I think it's not gonna happen. But look, it would be great if you could see on the bench, like that would be something. Just the fear of him, like, being there, like, that could be like, you don't even have to play him. Like, I mean, you have plenty of players you put on the bench you never play. So,
who's after Everton?
Sorry?
Who's after Everton game?
After Everton, I think we play Bournemouth, yeah.
Yeah.
So look, again, like I don't want to risk him, but at least it would be nice to see him on the training pitch, Jesus, and whatever. And as Craig said, I'm much more happy now after 3 points against Villa to go to Leicester, because if we would have drawn or even lost that game, I think it would have been a complete different kettle of fish. But saying all that, Leicester are leaking goals. I don't think the last 5 or 6 games they conceded goals, so I can see us scoring. We have the talent to do that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of can we actually, be defensive as well, and do things. Would be nice for Rodgers to go turn around against if Ramsdale made another save. You say, how did he do that? Like he did in the last 2 games. So that would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, so I would go with 2-0 as well. I feel quite confident in that that we can score, and I think that game on the weekend really gave us a bit of confidence, and there's a lot of drive in it now. As I said, would have been a different result, might have been a different atmosphere going into this game. But yeah, I'm hoping a 2-0, and then come quick turnaround, and then Wednesday we play Everton. So it would be actually nice to see that he would change something. So to mix it up a bit. Just to give everybody maybe another rest, or because the games are coming thick and fast now, so we actually have to use our bench properly. So yeah, my thing 2-0.
Yeah, I'll go with 2-1. Yeah, I think it'd be a close game. Yeah, and the last few predictions that we've been doing, the games we've been predicting quite close score lines, and that shows how far into the season now. We're earlier on the season be saying ridiculous. Like Ian saying we'd win 4-1 away to Everton.
3-0 that was. He said 3-0. I put a bet on it because he said it. I lost it. He owes me.
He actually made a donation as
he made a donation, which like half of it went to YouTube.
I told you I wanted that in my bank account.
Okay, it's not Martin's point, Johnny.
I think we have a grand total of €4 sitting in the account. I tell you, this is what podcasts are made of, lads. Slow rise. It would be nice to end February on a high, lads, wouldn't it? Because March, then you have another 4 games in March, along with the 2 legs of the Europa League, and then you've got that international break. So even to go into the international break top would be a big psychologically. You'd be going into the last 10 games, then a straight shootout then for the league. Yeah.
Just on Martin's point there, Johnny. I just think, particularly this game, I actually didn't think about it. It would be good to go, 2 or 3 goals up, maybe early, and make a few changes then, because if we could bring on 3, 4, maybe a few subs early, playing to our hands for the game against Everton next week, because I'm not sure who Everton have on the weekend, but again, they're just gonna stink the place out next Wednesday and sit so deep,
They've asked to get at home. Yeah.
That's actually a very worrying game, if I'm going to be honest with you, because they'll just try to sit back and won't want to play football at all, and sometimes it can be difficult to break them down. But I hope we get the lead, early, go 2 or 3 up, and we can maybe make a few changes then and rest a few players.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have that luxury. Use the bench, as Martin said. Give a few players a run out. I think that game against Everton will be tougher than we think. We saw already at Goodison how tough Sean Dyche has his team set up. They won 1-0 there against Leeds, didn't they? Seamus Coleman scored. Defensively, they're very tight, aren't they? They don't. Aside from last Monday's 2-0 defeat to Liverpool, they're very they're tight at home. Yeah.
They play Villa on Saturday. They do. So
at home that is it? Yeah.
Yeah, at home. Yeah.
Yeah, and they need the points as well because it's quite tight down the bottom as well. So it's expensive.
When you look at a return of Jesus, there's certain games you don't want him to play. You don't want him playing against Everton, do you?
No. I think the Bournemouth game is more realistic.
I think it is. I don't think I think it's too early for Leicester, but I'll look at that Everton game. Please don't play him against them, because Sean Dyche will do some sort of Cobra Kai trick on him when he kick the leg, take the leg.
To be honest, I'd like him just to return in April for the last 10 games, because I think April's more challenging, yeah.
If he's back for the Fulham game would be, perfect because
that's the way, is it, lads?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
that'd be a tough one because they're all going for the Europa League as well by the looks with their sixth. They've actually surprised me how well they've done
Good coach
this season. Yeah, and Leno's had a good season in goal as well, actually. In fairness to him, yeah. Willian is a different player, isn't he? He scored.
He's not the same guy that played for us, is
he? Yeah. Are you listening, Bernd Leno? Yeah, look, it's exciting times, lads, isn't it? Yeah, it's just great to watch, though, isn't it? Just to sitting pretty at the top and looking forward to every game where you're not dreading it in other seasons, yeah. Anything else, Arsenal related, lads? Just to say that game is on Premier Sports 1 in the Republic of Ireland. It's going to be shown, as always, I take it, Martin, in the River Bar, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's in the River Bar, so 3 o'clock. So, like, if you want to come in early because, like, seats are a rarity now. So, like, a premium, yes, and what might start charging for the thing and put it into the podcast, doing like the Arsenal club, a euro cover charge, so to come in, get your seat. No, yeah, it's definitely a 3 o'clock kickoff, so it's gonna be good in the good atmosphere, I think, in the River Bar. And then the games are coming thick and fast, so like then Everton on the Wednesday, then again Bournemouth, and then like the first away game in the Europa League, and then we're back Fulham. So yeah, that's basically every 3rd to 4th day there will be a game. So it's gonna be tough on us, on the supporters, and on the team. So I'm looking for to who can replace me to go into the River Bar, but I don't know. We have a look. Should be good.
It's a great headache to have. Yeah. And hopefully we all have a liver come the end of May left to celebrate the title.
That would be great, yeah.
Bank holiday weekend here, so.
I say there'll be a few hospital beds rented out come the end of May for their liver to be dried out. Anything else, lads? Football related, like mentioned, or Arsenal related? The stadium art outside Emirates looks absolutely fantastic. I know Martin and so. Aussie youth being there. Does it look well outside? Yeah.
Oh, the Highbury.
It looks great, doesn't it?
Absolutely looks amazing. Done, you know what? That's what I love about this club. They just do things right sometimes, don't they? Just class, a bit of class. Honestly, it really gets you when you go over that bridge and see that. See the old Highbury.
It's exactly. It's great as well with the statues, kind of. Like they are just like like in the right places, and you can look at this and it's just great pictures and just look, it just shows you what that club is all about, the history what's in it, and everything. So it's actually quite. And as I said, if nobody's been there for a while, the atmosphere is just second to none. Like there is like a buzz going. It's just you wouldn't have seen this like a couple of years ago.
No.
Can I just say, I know I went on the last pod, but the Man City game, I don't think I've experienced anything quite like it. In terms of the Emirates was unbelievable, that game. It really was.
Reminds you of some of the Champions League nights, Ozzy, doesn't it? When it's under lights.
Honestly, the atmosphere in the pubs before the game, the atmosphere at the ground. I've never quite heard it like it. It wasn't in City. Even when we was conceding goals, it was. I know we've had this common thing of cheering them when we go 1 down and stuff like that. But the noise levels of the City game were unbelievable. Everyone was on board. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, they done a classy. I think it was the Brentford game. I think the front of the matchday program was the one with the kid with the ball in his hand and facing the Highbury print class. That was from the Arsenal photographer as well. Stuart McFerrin, is it?
Stuart McFarlane, yeah.
No, Stuart, if you're listening, we're still looking for you to come on the show. It's not too late before we get too big. So
just to show you that way, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a class. You'd nearly swear that was Highbury, wouldn't you? It's so real.
It is, it's brilliant.
It's absolutely class. Yeah, when the club does things right, it's nearly spot on. It's just great to see the age so many younger fans.
I was actually raging. Like, we had from the supporters club, they had a call out last week. I don't know if anybody remembers, like, when you go to the tunnel, there was like life-size pictures of the players on each side, like when you went out.
Yeah.
But now that they have changed all this, they had to give them away. And so last week they were giving them away, like, but you had to pick them up in the stadium. So unfortunately, we couldn't make him over. Like, you have to pay for a seat in Ryanair probably to put like Jacques next to you or something like that. But yeah, like, so they changed everything. So like, it's actually the next time I go over, I'm gonna do a stadium tour. So because I'm sure like there's a lot of stuff have changed inside, because I think the last time was like about 2 or 3 years ago. So yeah, like it definitely would have. Everything has changed inside, so like it would be definitely worthwhile to go for a tour as well.
Yeah, it's exciting times being an Arsenal fan, that's for sure. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Roll on the end of May when we're lifting the title at home. Still a lot of games to go, but we're into the final third now. 15 games to go now. Yeah. We're there to be shot at, as they say. Yeah, anything else, lads, you'd like to mention or anything?
No, I think we covered everything. The only thing is, if you want to support us, there is a thanks button under the video. So if you want to click that, unfortunately, half of it does go to YouTube, but like whatever we get, so.
I'll tell you, I'm just going to say hello to my old man, because my old man started watching this. Steve Ozzy. So, what, Dad?
Big shout out to Daddy Ozzy.
Who's your daddy? There's the name of this week's show. Who's your daddy? Perno.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's nice to see Daddy Ozzy watching us.
He's a big gooner. He is a big gooner.
Is he?
He's a reason I support him. So yeah, he's a big Charlie George fan as well. And he actually met him on a tour recently. We did one of those Legends tour. So if you do a Legends tour, go and see Charlie George. He's cracking.
Yeah, God, actually, he earns more. I got one about 10 years. I done one about 10 years ago with him, and he says he earns more doing the stadium tours than he did actually playing.
Yeah,
which is crazy, isn't it? And you getting the bus home from matches without the fans. It's a far cry. We're getting into a Bentley or a Lexus, isn't it? So it's absolutely mad the way times change. But yeah, he's Arsenal through and true, isn't he, Charlie George? Yeah, what a legend, yeah. And a true legend.
Brady says £60 during the week, innit? And Brady in the interview, like in the documentary, you had like, when you came to Arsenal, I think something like £50 or £60 a week. Yeah. And look, it's times changed, isn't it? It's just imagine like tell somebody. Holy crap,
Imagine paying you £60 now.
I'm sure £60 then was a lot of money as well. Don't get me wrong, like like probably
yeah.
So, like it's just complete different ball game, innit? And that's actually another. I mentioned it in the River Bar, like that they were actually talking about because of Brexit. It actually opened the doors for League of Ireland players like to go to Italy. Because if you're under 18, you're not allowed to play in England because of Brexit. Like they're not allowed to get young players over if they're not English. So all the League of Ireland like are looking into Spain, in Italy, and believe it or not, like we have 5 under 18s now playing in Italy. One for Milan, things like that. So it's a different kind of vision. It's not that bad in Italy,
Just another one as well. The documentary on Liam Brady, an Irishman abroad, was very good. It's on the RTE Player Ozzy. Yeah, it's about his day starting off with Arsenal and then moving on to Juventus, Sampdoria, and Inter Milan, where he finished up. It's a really good documentary. It's on for about an hour and a bit, but it was on last Monday night. It was a really good documentary on him. More to watch. The RTE Player it's on if anyone's interested in watching. Yeah.
Get me your VPN out. Get me a VPN out.
Exactly.
Daddy Ozzy, are you listening? We must get him on sometime, Ozzy, if he's interested.
Oh no, you don't want to do that. You don't. He'll just talk about the 70s.
So frustrating.
Should put him together with Eamon, so.
That'd be some show, wouldn't it? Daddy Ozzy, Desi Donnelly. They could just have their own show for one night. They could take it over.
Ashburton and Dad's Army.
It's like in the Muppet Show, you know, when the thing in the top of the balcony.
Waldorf.
The two grumpy outfits, yeah.
Oh God. Good crack.
Yeah, yeah, it should be be cool. Yeah, there's plenty more laughs to come through the end of the season, I'm sure. Just like to thank, I suppose, Craig, thanks for coming on tonight. Ozzy, as always, and Martin, thanks for coming on. Martin will have the show uploaded tonight, as always.
It will, yeah.
And we'll have it on justarsel.com and hopefully tag us as well. Get us a few views as well as the week goes on. Catch our show on Spotify and on the Dublin Arsenal YouTube channel is where you can catch this show. As I said at the start of the show, this show is dedicated to my late uncle, Sean Johns, who sadly passed away last Monday. So any donations to cancer.ie, the Irish Cancer Society, or to pieta.ie, they do great work for families going through such a tough time and a horrible disease, you know. So, yeah, I thought I'd dedicate all this month's show to them. Until next Tuesday, thanks for listening and watching, and we'll talk to you then.
Thanks, lads.
Yes, lads.
Come on, you Gooners.
Come on,
See you later, right?